common mistakes people make with their posts. Give us like 3 to 5 your worst nightmares.
Dead simple, straight up, talk about themselves. I just did this, I just fed the cat, I just posted a photo, I just posted a video. No one cares less about what you did, not even your mum, okay?
And the average consumer is damn lazy. They don't want to work for the information. They want it to be fed to them. And these devices feed it to them. I mean, everybody's got a phone coming out of their body now. It's a body part.
All these automated get 10,000 followers garbage. Forget all that stuff. Anyone starts sprouting that, run as fast as you can. People, because it's free, or people see it as free, they tend to post everything in the hope that someone will click on it, watch it, read it, go over there. If you had to actually pay for it, and I wish they would, I wish they'd make every post that you had to put up, someone had to pay for, people would think twice about what they had to do and whether that anyone would actually read it or take any notice of it. And a big tip here is, if you're not sure whether you should post it or not, you probably shouldn't, and have a look at it from not your own eyes, as in this is my bit of stuff, I'm going to post it out and see who likes it. Read it and go, would I actually post that? If someone else posted that, would I read that myself? Would I click on it myself? Would I take any notice of it? And if the answer's no, go back and redo it.
Automated get 10,000 fans, garbage. Forget all that software. Anyone start sprouting that, run as fast as you can. Some of the best advice that I've ever given people. Seriously, if anyone does tell you get that stuff, just get rid of it. It is a complete and utter waste of time. Alright, I'm going to do something a little bit different tonight. I'm going to start off with a little nursery rhyme type story. As you saw in the title, it said if you gave 10% growth, something like, set yourself up for failure, something like that. Anyway, so once upon a time, in a long, far, far away place, probably back when I was about 8 or 9, probably 30, 40 years ago, you could run a sale and offer a 5, 10, 20% discount, and people were happy with that. They'd come along, that would get people's attention enough. If they're going to get 10 or 20% off and they really wanted your product or service, that was probably enough to get them to come and buy from you. Then come along a person called the rug salesman. Now, the rug salesmen were pretty much like a used car salesman, only about 1,000 times worse. And they started running sales every day of the week, every other week, and they had 20, 50, 100, 200, 500, 900, 10,000% off on stuff that was worth millions of dollars. And you could get it for $2.50 on the weekend if you got to the right sale. So they completely destroyed the sales. Well, sales being people using sales as a time pressure to buy for a start. And they just took all credibility out of 10, 20, 30% discounts. Blew it. Shot to hell. They blew it for you completely. Now, I want to read something to you about this here, because not only did the rug salesman come along and wreck that, what happened then come along behind was a little thing called the internet. So now you don't just compete in a local market, you're competing against 9 times out of 10 the likes of Amazon and the rest of the world. So here's what happens if you go for 10% growth or 10% cost savings, whatever it may be. I'm actually reading this off of Peter Diamanda's site called singularityhub.com. This is a quote. So it says here, one of the steps to really being successful, this is going to be survival in the future going forwards, not just being successful. This is going to be mandatory. Most companies really focus on how to create 10% improvements in their business. Ask, how can we reduce costs by 10%, increase profits by 10%? Astro Teller, this is actual person's name, not a teller machine or something like that. Google's captain of what they call moonshot often talks about how when you try to do 10% better, you're putting yourself in a smartness competition with everyone else in your industry and anyone else in the world, that bit's in brackets. And it's a competition that you're highly unlikely to win because someone's always prepared to undercut you. There's always someone that will beat you on price, no matter what you do. Instead, Astro proposes what Google calls moonshot thinking. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute, where you try to go 10 times bigger, 10 times cheaper, 10 times faster, 10 times cooler, etc., etc. So the first thing that people are going to say when I tell them that is, how the hell are we going to do that, Benny? There's no way possible. It can be 10 times cheaper, 10 times better, 10 times faster. Okay, what you need to do is get over to Bold. Get yourself a copy of this book, whether it be on Amazon, you buy a physical copy, whatever it may be. This is a blueprint for how businesses are going to be run in the future. If you go to, I think it's like boldbook.com, I'll put a link in the show notes anyway. There's video on there, all the different people that have recommended this book right up to, I think Bill Clinton was still president at the time, or his next, whether he was ex or was still president at the time. They're all saying, all the smartest minds in the world are saying, this is the future, this is how business is going to work. Ignore this at your peril. And actually, the first story that he talks in there is about Kodak and how Kodak had the market stitched up, and they completely ignored these things and digital cameras when they first come onto the market, and that's hence why Kodak no longer exists. Alright, so 10 times better. Let me give you a couple examples of how this would work. One I saw the other day is absolute cracker. At the moment there's a little gadget that goes onto your smartphone, okay? It's a zoom, and they actually show it zooming in the footage. They show how close you can zoom things up. They zoom up to the moon, they zoom into these mountains. It's incredible what this thing can do. It is literally, it's a lot more than 10 times better than what the previous person was doing with DSLRs or whatever. And this thing clips onto your phone for literally something like $30. So they've made an exponential improvement in capabilities of this thing at a fraction of the price for another piece of equipment to do it. Right? They're the sort of things, and as I say, if you're not sure how you're going to do it, you need to get this and start reading this like every day. Another one is, because this is relevant across your social media as well. Okay, this is the truth about social media. Funnily enough, this is relevant to social media. If you put 10% discount on your page, or 20%, even up to 50%, maybe even giving stuff away free on your Facebook business page, you'd think that would get heaps of attention online. It doesn't. There's that much stuff getting given away. People who've got really smart back-end systems can afford to give quite valuable stuff away up front because they know that they're going to pick it up on the tail end because they've got systems to move people through the process, and they know if they can afford to spend X amount of dollars to buy a customer, but they'll make Y down the track when they buy a bigger and better product. So it's no good just posting a 10% discount, whatever. It's not going to get any traction on your Facebook business page. You need to be doing things that are worth talking about, that people are going to go, hey, have a look at this. Like that camera thing I was showing you before, that's had millions and millions of views, that video, because it's doing something that no one else in the digital market for cameras is doing, far away and above and beyond. Another example is what I've just come up with today, and that is because I've been reading Bold and talking with Gideon the other week, and he's talking about a book that he's just writing about making a global impact, creating global movements. So I've come up with the best innovator in the world. There's a video on Facebook that I was watching this morning. It's the Swiss, and they're actually burning garbage. They're actually importing garbage from other countries to burn it to create energy, because from 3,000 tonnes of rubbish, they're getting the same amount of energy as from 1,000 tonnes of fuel. And I'm tipping 3,000 tonne of the rubbish is a damn sight cheaper than 1,000 tonne of the fuel. Well, must be, because they've created a business, literally, I think they're pulling like 800,000 tonnes a year of rubbish from other countries to burn it. A lot of people will see that and they go, why aren't we doing that in Australia? You know, government should be doing something about this, blah, blah, blah. That's all well and good, but they're never ever going to do anything about it. It's not in their best interest to be doing that for us. We need to make that happen ourselves. So what I've decided to do is, I want an innovation centre right here on the Sunshine Coast where we can bring those things in, get them to market and get them out and get them moving. Now, that's 10 times. None of you won't go and have a look at all the other people that are doing social media on the coast or marketing, all the rest of it. None of them are talking about doing anything like that. None of them are talking about doing anything close to anything like that. So when I start to get traction with it, it will really move. But I'm not talking about a 10% discount or 50% discount or even 100% discount. Talking about something that's far bigger, far better, way out in front of what all the rest of the competition. Remember I talked about majestic, what majestic means yesterday? Not being anything near ordinary, or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. Watch yesterday's video if you want to watch it. I explained what majestic meant in that video. Right, so if you want to be part of that, you want to see how I'm going to do it, build this Elon Musk Museum. Two things I really want to do within that program is, one, we always say Australia was called the lucky country back when we wrote on the sheets back. We need to get back to that point again, what we're at when we had that, and we can do that. We have the technology and we have the resources available to get back there. The other thing that we really need to fix, to get rid of, is the psyche of the tall poppy syndrome. We need to get rid of that. We need to lose that. That needs to be in our past.